Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. It's been a minute since I did a video. A lot of things going on behind the scenes. I will show you that. I'll do some more videos. But right now, this video is about my repeater shut down due to cold. I shouldn't really say it's shut down. It does not receive. It can still transmit, but does not receive. Let me show you what I mean here in a minute. Let's see how cold it is right now. Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 3 degrees.
So hopefully you heard that. Now a little disclaimer. We had schools shut down here last night. They were claiming minus 35 to minus 40 degrees last night. So they shut the schools down. Now I don't know how cold it actually got during the night. I did some checking. It says minus 10, but I don't know if that's not including the wind chill or what. Now the specs on the Retevis RT97S repeater go, I believe, if I remember correctly, is minus 22 degrees. So either this repeater is below the specs or it got colder than the specs. I don't know. But this is what will happen when the repeater gets too cold. Let me put you on pause. I'm going to go out to the shack and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. I'll be right back. Okay, we're at the shack now. The repeater does not receive. And what I mean by that is, if you take a radio and you key it up, there's a bar graph on the display that's supposed to go up as you key up. And also there's no, I don't even hear a squelch tail on the radio either. So let's go up to the display here. I'm going to show you. Now bear with me. It's going to be kind of hard to see this. But you can see even the numbers are not quite right. Some of the display is kind of some of the segments. Now when I key up this radio, you should see a bar graph go up. Let me key it up here. And you don't. And you don't see that bar graph. Now if I key up the repeater using the COM port to do like my weather announcements, that seems to work.
10:55 a.m. Outdoor temperature minus 11 degrees.
So that works.
Wind speed 9 miles per hour.
And my interface board's still working with it being cold, but it does not seem to transmit when you key up a radio. But if you use the COM port to key it up, that seems to work. So that's what happens now with this model. I do have the other model of Retevis, and that is this model that does not have the data port. But the problem is this was in the house, so I'm going to leave it out here overnight. And if it gets cold, I'm going to do a part 2, and we'll try this model that doesn't have the data port and see how that acts. But I got to leave this out for at least 24 hours. If it stays cold enough to do this test. So this is going to be a part 1 video, maybe part 2 depending on how the other repeater acts, or if it's not, or if it's cold enough. But yeah, now again, I have to say I don't know how cold it got last night. Now maybe it got below or colder than the specs of this repeater can handle. I don't know. But what I would do is, if I was going to have this repeater outside, I'd build a wooden box and use some of that foam insulation in it. And then if you're going to run batteries, as you know, I believe it's the lithium batteries, that some of the better ones have a built-in heater so it doesn't damage the battery. So I would use lithium batteries with the solar panel, and maybe the heat from the battery, if you make the box just big enough, will help heat up the repeater and keep it up and running. That's what I would do if I was going to have this outside. Now, I am kind of outside. I'm in the shack here, but obviously the shack is not heated, and it being a big area, this whole area, obviously the heat, any heat that comes from this is not enough to keep it warm. But if you make a smaller box for it, I think that would solve your problem. So I just want to give you a heads up. Like I said, there might be a part 2 video depending on how cold it gets. I'll hook up the other model that does not have a data port, and we'll see if that does the same thing. So at any rate, if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have yourself a good day.